Hello, my name is Katie Gama. I'm going to talk about Frederick Douglass. Frederick August Washington Bailey, better known as Frederick Douglass, was an foreign African-American writer and narrator who gave support for the abolition of slavery in the United States during the 19th century, becoming a figurehead of the cause and even the physical fines to gain high government office. Born into the settlement in Maryland around the 1880, Douglas was separated from his mother at an early age. At the age of 12 years, and his settlement owners was beginning to teach him basic reading and writing. Sometimes his mother disappeared off, and the grown that the lyrics was encouraged as he saved from the freedom. Although his several owners taught the lesson, Douglas continued to learn read and mean he couldn't include the learning from the other newborn children and the teaching himself to read and write in newspaper. Douglas suffered many cruel and physical punishments, including bitterness and whiteness. This fact wasn't a key in his license, it would start his continued reading and information for soul about human rights, which he being openly shared this nevertheless extension over to the Bible to other syllables in the church. In 1837, he escaped to the northern United States and joined abolitionist group. He soon began his work as a narrative writer and spokesman for the move of both in the United States and Europe. After his master's day, he worked on the plantation and the shipwreck and after his first failed escape attempt in 1833, he managed to flee and settle in New Bedford, Massachusetts, where he adopted the name Douglas to evade the rest in the world as a delivery between 1838 and 1841. In the 1841 Nautical Anti-Slavery Convention, Douglas was invited to describe his feeling and spirit during the slavery. These impromptu remarks were so profound and natural eloquent that it expect catapulted into the new career as the legacy to the Massachusetts anti-slavery leader. From that moment, one dispelled malicious and anyone question soon result in the violent personal attack. Douglas never regret in his devotion to the abolitionist cause. Also in New York, Douglas becoming a priest in the Virgin Orthodox Key were evidenced in a sermon he became involved in the revolution movement and began to as a religious. His travels took him as a refuge as the United Kingdom and Ireland. In 1845, Douglas published his autobiographic narrative of the life of Frederick Douglass in America slave, which was already known for showing in a realistic way what it was like to be slave in North America. Douglass account becoming a classic of American literature, as well as a first-hand commentary source in the slavery from the slave point of view. In his work, the conflict of interest between white abolitionists, he will wish to use the slavery narrative in the same way they're handling slave speaker and the former slave writer who the much more I say and clearly shown. Another important work will be the slavery and my freedom, their second autobiographic, where he explains his vision from the press as a new Bible incarnate, the Hellenic view of a newspaper as a solitude from the press. Another important work we can see in the picture, direct celibate in 1853, in 1881 he reached 1892, Life and the Sign of the Frederick Douglass, the Tree in the final autobiographic, in 1881 to the Color Line. In the same year, we have the Escape from the Celebrate. To avoid being recruited with the former owner, especially mentioning in his account Douglas left for 2 years in lectures to for Britannia and Ireland. However, Douglas played with many new sympathizers from the evolutionist movement in the systematic human from relation between the two continents. Douglas then traveled to Rome, helping the evolution move off in establishing Taiwan institution, the humanist theater on the both content of his son. He founded North Star newspaper, later called the Frederick Douglass paper, which was active from 1847 to 1860 in New York. He defended the right of the black to be armed of the war in the evolution of slavery. His work as an active was directed toward the full organization of the civil rights of the free slaves. He also played diplomatic posts abroad. Douglas, on development fear of the freedom contributed to the cause without any condition being a slave or free man beginning starting his active line of desire in his campaign the work is areas to guard where right and liberty are violate. He led the evolution movement that was rewarded with the ratification from the Surrey Emily in 1863. In a gift article, he was a speech included famous 4th of July speech in which he described the slavery of the great shames in the scene of America. Douglas fought also to the civil rights of the free men and they vigorously supported the women's rights movement. After the Reconstruction, he served as Assistant Secretary for the Santo Domingo Commission 1871. In the District of Columbia, he was Marshal 1877 to 81. In the record for the day 1881 to the 1886. Thank you for your attention.